Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Smash Dispatch podcast. As always, I am one of your hosts, Fidel. Join alongside me, Mr. Ultima X.
Hello everyone, hello.
Oh, how you doing, buddy? What you been up to lately?
Good, well, been real busy, keeping up with work and, that's pretty much it, you know.
Right, yeah, fair. There's all those fucking, the funniest thing this weekend was like all the Nintendo leaks, like of all the old, of a bunch of old games.
Speaking of, how crazy would it be if we got something with like Smash Bros? I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
obviously have it, like in some capacity. I don't know if it's included, but man, if anything came out with Smash regarding that, that'd be insane,
crazy,
man.
yeah. Like if some people found like character stuff, they'd like lose their minds.
Yeah, for sure. It's exciting. I mean, that's all part of history. Actually, kind of relevant to the topic today because there's back like in Kirby 64, they initially planned to have multiple playable characters, but they only ended up having Kirby playable. So if Kirby 64 is in that leak, we could see
there
that.
You go. That's what I like to see. Yeah, it's like, yeah, of course, speaking of Kirby, I mean, you've probably already seen it from the title of the episode. Yeah, this week's theme for the Smash Dispatch is going to be talking about Kirby representation, because Kirby, big part of Smash Bros, big part of Nintendo. We've been doing the series representation type topics, so I thought this week would be fun to do Kirby. So as always, we'll go through the different characters, the different stages, how we feel about them, all that stuff. And so first of all, as always, I like to say this, Ultima, what do you think in general? What's your how do you feel in general about Kirby as a series? Like outside of Smash, do you love it? Is it not your thing?
So outside of Smash, I love the games. I would say like it's not like my all-time favorite series, but like if I want to just enjoy a fun platformer, like Kirby's great. Like I really don't have anything super like positive. Like I don't have anything super positive like about the series because or super negative. It's just like it's. I think of it highly, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite series. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, for me, actually, I really love the Kirby series. Like, it's one of my favorites. It's one of those series, like a lot of Kirby fans say that it's so rare that there's a bad Kirby game. Like they all really range from like good to amazing. Like they really have like just a ton of variety because they're just feel good, really fun games, and so it just obviously Kirby is like one of the most like just lovable characters in gaming, and just the series I've always loved. I think I've played like every game. There's always charm. I like how they experiment a lot with the series with different spin-offs, different ideas. So yeah, I actually really love the Kirby series. So in Smash Bros, obviously Kirby's been a character that has been basically there from the start, and the series we've seen growing representation and stuff. So it's kind of my allegiance with the Kirby franchise as a whole. So yeah, when we look at Smash Bros, right, because for the I'm sure most people know this, but for the few that don't know, Kirby is actually created by Sakurai. Like Sakurai is the OG creator of Kirby. He doesn't do it anymore, but that's why it's not why, but like this character is definitely like a beloved one for Sakurai and the team, and everyone talks about how Sakurai has that deep love for Kirby, that like that's why he gets all those transformation stuff, and that's always been such a cool thing, the like Sakurai Kirby tie-in.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, he obviously like he cares so much. It's basically his son, like this is my child,
Says that,
and you can tell like. Sakurai, like, still deeply cares for the series. Now, I think when we get into, like, how it's represented, I think there is a clear Sakurai bias towards the games that he himself directed in terms of what gets put in Smash.
Yeah, I cannot wait to talk about it. It's going to be great. But yeah, no, so I mean, so let's start with just, obviously, let's go through the characters. So first of all, we have Kirby himself, right? So Kirby... been in the series since N64 to now. His moveset has not seen too many changes. I mean, what changed in his moveset over the years, other than we'll talk about the transformations, but... So,
the moves that have really changed on Kirby are his side B.
Yeah, the hammer, right?
Because obviously in Smash 64, there was no side B. Right. Then in Melee, it was the hammer, but like... It wasn't a chargeable move.
Yeah, you couldn't
charge
it.
You did the hammer.
Right.
And then in the air, you, like, spun around with it. And then I think it was Brawl Onward that made it so that like you can charge the hammer and get the super powerful attack.
Right. Yeah. And those are kind of just in general like Kirby's base moves, right? Because like obviously Kirby and always like his like Kirby's down B has always been so fun because it's basically like the rock power up from the Kirby games where you turn to different like characters and things from different stuff. It's like it's always been cool to see like the different ones. Like he's got the rock one, he's got the thwomp looking one, he's got what's the other?
There's there's like a star block from Kirby.
Yeah, the star block.
I think some of the newer ones were like the Mario brick. I think they added that one to
right,
Ultimate.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, his down B transformation. I think, honestly, the only other thing on Kirby that's really changed is his dash attack. His dash attack is all over the place, because in Smash 64, he sort of just does like a tackle. In Melee, it's the fireball. In Brawl and Smash 4, it's like the spin kick, like the yo-yo spin. And then in Ultimate, they actually made it the fireball again.
They brought back the fireball, which is really cool.
Yeah, so interesting. I think that's the only character who's like had a different dash attack change like that.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I mean, like with Kirby, it's like I guess they can experiment and change stuff in there. Kirby's always been that character where like everyone I've ever played with that doesn't know how to play this game, they just do the thing where they go up, 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 down B, up,
yeah, the
down
little
B.
cousin special, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah, I know. Now I know I was perfectly guilty of that back in Melee.
Right?
I did that
oh my God.
all the time in Melee. That's how I beat all the event modes where you could pick your character. Like I just did that with Kirby, and that's how I would try to beat everything.
It's such a dick move, but it's like the most easiest for like people that don't know how to play, especially the game, or just want an easy way out through things. Because like it really just goes through anything, the down B, and just it's destructive. And like especially if you're doing a 4-player Smash, you don't even notice someone like up above flying and then just coming at you with a down B. And it's like it breaks shields so easily.
and even if you miss, you can like change what timing it is when you get out of it so that you can avoid stuff.
Yeah, I've always loved that, where like you could either sit there or like just come out of it right away. It's always so great. I mean, it's so cool. Like you could do it off the stage too, where like you down B off stage and then you turn back and just float back. It's just like it's such a cool character. And obviously the big hook of Kirby is the transformations. I'm like, it's something where like it's so funny because you'd think, because wait, did he didn't transform in 64, did he?
He did, but I don't know if he got the hats in 64, did he?
I don't think so.
I know he has the voice lines. Like I know for a fact he has the voice lines. I don't know if he actually got the I guess he did get all the hats. Yep. He's had that since 64.
Okay. Yeah, he did. No, let's say Kirby, like, having all the hat stuff has always just been, like, the best thing. It's like, it's one of those things everyone always wants to know right away. What does Kirby look like when he sucks up a character? And, like, it's just
a tradition.
Yeah. And it's just amazing how, like, they actually kept it going. Because you'd think, like, from Wii U especially onward, right, where there's like over like 50 characters in that game, and then you go now to Ultimate, you'd think at some point they'd be like, okay, we need to put a limit on this. It's like, no, they really just keep going. Like they keep adding
and
them.
They even do voice lines for them sometimes.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like, I love that. It's like, I love, like, for example, with Terry recently, that's a one. It's like, it'll go like, it's so cute.
It's so good. I mean, like, you know, it's kind of funny because, like, if you think about, like, other fighting games, there are usually, like, characters who, like, there are, like, clone characters who, like, copy moves from other people. But, like, Kirby has the copy, but it's so unlike anything else, you know what I mean? And the amount of, like, extra effort and, like, he has his own animations, his own voice lines, his own model with the hat. Like, that's all great.
Well, I love how it's not, like, it's not always just a hat. Like it's like when he sucks up like Snake, he gets like the beard, which is like so funny. Like if he sucks up one of my favorites is,
if he sucks up Bayonetta, he's Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, exactly. Great. And like even one of my favorites is when he sucks up Game & Watch and he becomes like the black outline, which is it looks so cool on him. It's like
oh my god, so cool, dude! Like Game & Watch Kirby looks so
amazing.
Sick. Like it's unlike. I know it's supposed to be copying like Game & Watch style, but it looks so like different. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
yeah.
it looks so cool. I don't know how to explain it, man.
I would love to just play as that Kirby, like just have it as like a skin. It's just because it looks so cool. He's just such a cool looking character, and like I love her stuff. Like what's that? That's really funny. Oh, even Wii Fit Trainer, where he literally becomes white and has like the hair. It's like it's just so funny, man. It's so cool. I think especially third party characters where it's like it's so weird to see Kirby turn into like characters that aren't Nintendo ones. It's just such a nice touch. And like how they have to animate like a little hand. Like it's crazy when I was like, what's gonna happen with Min Min? It's like, oh yeah, he gets the arms, which is like so cool.
Yeah. And of course like that's also the thing about Kirby is like every character you face like you gotta think like how can I use their copy ability, right? Because like some of them are better than others. Like I think most people know that Monado Kirby is like the best character in the game.
Yeah, it's insane. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
I remember in Smash 4 doubles, people would play Kirby Shulk, and because you always have team attack on, so they would just inhale the partner to get Monado Kirby like as fast as possible.
Right. Exactly. No, it's just. It's amazing. The Kirby transformation's always been so cool. That say he's always been a character that like I feel like with Kirby, he's never a character I main, but he's always a character I just like to pick up and play. Like I know how to play him. He's fun to mess around with. He's always been like a fun character.
And it's kind of funny. Like I think every time a new Smash game comes out, like I just feel like okay, I'm gonna try out Kirby. Like I always just gravitate to seeing how Kirby feels whenever I get like a new game comes out. You know what I mean? He's
just so cool. It's always just fun to get to see everybody be like right away when a new character's announced. Oh, what's the Kirby transformation gonna look like? So it's always good to see Kirby get love and all that. Kirby's always been just an awesome character in this.
And of course, the other like big community thing about Kirby is every single game he's got to have the high taunt.
Oh yeah, of course. Hi,
the high is like too iconic too. Yeah,
I love it. And he's got like his little victory pose, which is like the ones from the game. So just the two like Kirby's just too cute. No, I genuinely don't know someone who doesn't like Kirby as a character. Maybe you could not like the games, but the character himself is just amazing. And then speaking of other characters, the second we technically got both of them in the same game with Brawl. We got King Dedede and Meta Knight. So let's start with King Dedede because he's the big bad of Kirby. Well, big bad and good. No one truly knows. Sometimes he's mean, sometimes he's nice.
He's more like Kirby's rival than he is like a true villain, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel like now he's become good because now he kind of gets like mind controlled when he's evil.
Yeah, he's always mind controlled. Like he's been mind controlled for like the last 3 games.
Yeah, exactly. So poor Dedede, he can't even be nice when he wants to. But yeah, Dedede has also been like a really cool character because I feel like he's one of like the more unique heavies. Like I don't know if I'm wrong on that because like the way he plays and the way he moves is just really weird and interesting. Like
he's like a heavy Jigglypuff with a hammer. Like it's weird. Like he is very unique in that like he's very reminiscent of like a Jigglypuff with like he is an air-based heavy, but he has the disjoint with the hammer, which also makes him pretty unique because there aren't really like any heavyweight like sword users or weapon users, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, it's like because usually like the hammer is just like a side thing, but him it's his main thing. But it's like the thing about Dedede is he's so scary in terms of damage. Like if like getting hit by like when you're in front of that forward smash and you're about to get hit, it's over. Like it's just your shield's either gonna break or you are literally going to die. It's such a powerful forward smash. And yeah, it's so weird how he does have the Kirby suck up, but like he just throws you out basically as a star, just like some of the older Kirby games. It's kind of a Kirby reference, like when you suck up an enemy and just spit them out and they're a star. Yeah, it's just so cool to see his moveset. And I think it was in Smash 4. Was it in Smash 4 where they introduced the hammer charge too? Or am I crazy?
He had the down B, you mean like his jet hammer? That was from Brawl. I think the only difference of Dedede from Brawl to Smash 4 was the Gordo throw. Because if you remember in Brawl... Yeah. It used to be random between Waddle Dee, Waddle Doo, and Gordo, and then after Smash 4, they made it Gordo every time. Right. Which, I don't know, like, to be perfectly honest with you, I prefer Brawl. I think Brawl Dedede is still my favorite because I feel like I liked having the Waddle Dee and Waddle Doo.
Yeah.
Like, And also you couldn't hit back the Gordo in Brawl. It was just random, you know, if you could get it or not.
Exactly.
That is the one thing. I do not like playing Dedede because like every time I use side B, it just goes against me like every time.
Oh yeah, I know exactly. I that little Gordo thing like could either be the death of an opponent or like a death of you. Like you could really
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And we also have obviously his like, I wouldn't say iconic, but really like well known that's the up B. Like that up B is so mean where like people will like take you down with him using it, or they'll like smash you into the ground with it. Like it's such a funny looking up B because he just goes like straight upwards and then down on you. It's just so funny.
Yeah, and he has the armor too on it as well.
Oh yeah, you can't get him out of that.
The other cool thing about Dedede is that Sakurai himself voices Dedede.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's such a cool detail. It's so nice. I love that.
Yeah, I don't like. Obviously, there's like some sort of filter on it, but it'd be. I mean, could you just imagine Sakurai in like a voice acting booth, like making these noises, man?
The weird Dedede noises, so cool. And I really love. One of his like more cocky moves is the one where he like you hold down and he's like laying down like a king and then he like rolls forward at you. Like it's such a mean move to do to people, but it's like always.
He's the only character who can. Because you can't taunt online, but you can just crouch with Dedede and it does it for you.
It's basically a taunt because he's just like chilling there and then you can just hit your opponent too. Yeah, his taunts are always really cool. I like how he does like his little happy hammer spin and everything, or his little dance. It's just so cute. And yeah, but like King Dedede has like always been just obviously like a fan favorite, and like oh my god, his dash attack is really dangerous too. Like that, like
the trip, right? A lot of startup, but it's very deadly. It's much like his forward smash as well.
Yeah, and I think that describes him perfectly. Like all his attacks take a lot of startup, but they're crazy damage.
Actually, now that I think about it, something I realized we didn't bring up was the final smashes, because Kirby's final smash changed as well.
Yeah, twice.
It's
3 times actually.
It went from the cooking pot in Brawl, which was really bad because you could just roll and avoid it.
horrible final smash that one.
But then you got the Ultra Sword in Smash 4.
Right.
And I'm kind of surprised that if you've played a Kirby Triple Deluxe, he has the Hypernova where like it's the massive inhale.
Yeah, like the massive inhale, yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of thought that they would make that his final smash in Ultimate, but they kept the sword, so interesting there.
Well, they kept the sword, but I think they changed like how it attacks, right? Because isn't it that in Smash 4 it's just a giant sword slash, but in Smash Ultimate he does like the crazy slashes everywhere before hitting you out? I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the change on it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he just does one big slash in Smash 4.
I think so. I think he changes. I'm trying to see a Kirby Final Smash because like I'm pretty sure in Smash 4 he just does one giant one, and then he later on does the big. Okay, this is just gonna do Brawl. Okay, anyways, either way, the Kirby Final Smash is always really cool. Yeah, exactly. So I think in Ultimate he does a crazy slash. In 4 he just does like a big slash with the sword. That's what it is. Okay. And
Dedede's I think has changed across every single game actually.
Really? I don't even remember. Yeah,
because Dedede had he had a dance where he made it rain waddle-dees.
Right.
And then in Smash 4. He had it was a weird hammer that shot out the bombs or whatever.
Yes,
do you remember that?
Yeah, that was weird.
That was really I don't think that was something that Dedede ever did in the games at all.
I don't know, man. Dedede's is really weird. Like in Smash 4, I don't know what the philosophy was there with that one, but it's really weird. But I think by far the best was the Ultimate one.
Oh my god, yeah, Mass Dedede from which was from actually Kirby Superstar Ultra. That's where it first appeared. They made that into the final test, which is the powered up form of Dedede, which makes so much more sense.
Yeah, it's so cool. You get knocked out onto the ring, and then he does the crazy spin and kicks you out. It's I love any final smash that takes you into a unique animation map. That's so extra in the best way possible. So yeah, no, Dedede overall just a really fun. He's a character especially in early Smash Ultimate, I was using online a lot because he's just so funny to play and does big damage. he bothers people, so that's always fun. So yeah, no, that's King Dedede. Then our last Kirby representative that was also added in Brawl is Meta Knight. Meta Knight, also a very fan favorite character in Smash history, and has like a weird history. Obviously, his debut in Brawl was an interesting one for competitive play. For those like, could you explain it for people that aren't aware of what happened in Brawl with Meta Knight?
So, if you, I'm sure everybody knows, but if you weren't playing Brawl around that era, like, there was Meta Knight and everyone else.
No, exactly. There was, oh my god.
Yeah, the character was just beyond broken, as in, like, every single option the character had was just better than every other character. He could recover from anywhere. All of his specials were insane. He had ridiculous range. His sword outranged Marth in some instances, which is absurd. And yeah, like the character just basically completely warped the game. Like if you did not have the only character who did well against Meta Knight was like Ice Climbers, and like even then, like they still weren't on par with Meta Knight, you know?
It's crazy, you know, and like obviously the hilarious thing of he could literally just like fly under the stage and like come back up, because they got rid of like the flying, right? Because like now he kind of does like his side B or like the up B, but like before he could like just do like a glide, right?
Yeah, so gliding was a mechanic in Brawl that they took out of Smash 4 onwards. You could glide too. Gliding was completely busted. Like you could recover all, like you could go like under high like melee temple and like come back the other side with Meta Knight because his recovery was that insane.
Yeah. But
he's like, definitely, I think out of everyone in across the Kirby, like in the Kirby universe across Smash, I think he has changed the most. I think he's had the most amount of changes.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I think they've had to, right? Like, I mean, what are his biggest moves?
Aside from him being broken in Brawl, like in Smash 4 even, like his moves are like a little bit different than how they work in Ultimate as well. Like, and I don't know, like, even in Brawl when, you know, because I wasn't playing competitive Brawl, like, I didn't know it was, like, the meta game or whatever in Brawl, like, I was mostly just playing online with my friends, like, I think we all knew Meta Knight was, like, good, but, like, I never realized until I was older, like, how broken the character
it's
was,
insane.
You know what I mean?
It's when you go watch videos, you're like, what the fuck? It's crazy. But even Smash 4 was really powerful. Like, I remember people would get, because of how slower the game was, like, you could chain people in that up air, and then just up B and they're dead. Like,
the ladder combos were very cool in were very, very cool in Smash 4.
Exactly.
Although, like, definitely the character wasn't as strong as he used to be, but like he still could do cool things. And I feel
he's
like
really fun.
That's where, like, I don't know, like in Ultimate, like I just don't enjoy playing Meta Knight. Like I feel like he at least had some range in Smash 4. And, like, he could still do cool things. And now, like, in Ultimate, it just feels like the character's missing something. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, I agree with that. It's like, Meta Knight's like, he's always been a character that, like, every so often I'll, like, jump in. But I never sit there and go, like, actively, like, I want to play Meta Knight. I feel like it's like, I don't, like, let's say I got random and I got Meta Knight, I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. But, like, I would not actively go and pick him. Because, again, I like his moves. Like, I would say he's definitely one of the more unique, sword users, which I really like. Like, it's like a lot of the sword users can be kind of similar, but like he's super different. He's got that side B, which is kind of like the sword spin that's going around, or you've got the neutral B, which is like the spin. Then he has that weird counter, which I never, or like, no, it's the weird up B, right? Is it the, you know what I'm talking about, the move, the kind of counter move? It's not up B, it's
where he teleports, B, right? Like, right?
Teleport, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like that move's so, I think that's one of the most unique moves on him, where he like he disappears and reappears at a set location, and he does like the sword strike.
Yeah, exactly.
You could like, and actually it's kind of funny, in Brawl there was a glitch where like you could down B, and then if you like tapped on the C stick, you could just like stay invisible for as long as you wanted.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
But obviously like they took that out. But yeah, like the Dimension Cape, where you just like, I was never good at using that move. Like, it's very tricky to use, you know? Yeah. It's not like Greninja's side B at all.
Exactly. It kind of reminds you of, like, Zelda's a bit, where it's like, it's kind of difficult to land. Like, you could if you really, like, put your mind to it, but it's kind of difficult to land unless you, like, dedicate to the character. And in terms of his final smash, I forgot. I know, obviously, in Ultimate, he's got the really badass one, right, where he's like, know my power, and he just fucking kills you.
Well, they changed it, actually, for Ultimate, because in Smash 4 and Brawl, like, okay, that is one thing that I do have to touch upon. I love Meta Knight's voice. Like, it's very so unique. Cool. And it's weird that it's kind of inspired from the anime, because he was Spanish in the anime. In the dub. Like, in the dub of, in the dub of the Kirby anime, he was Spanish, and they kind of kept it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's so weird when you go back to Dedede and he's, like, speaking fluent, like, hello, Kirby, how are you? And it's like, here he just kind of says these big, like, one-liners with a deep voice. It's funny to see, like, the difference in tone there. But yeah, no, I think...
Yeah, but that's one of the aspects I really like about him is his voice. And he had... That's why his final smash, like his old one, where he'd do the big cape, and then he'd do one big powerful hit, and he'd be know my power. Like, to me, like, in Brawl, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Because Brawl is, like, such, like, a edgy... Everyone's, like, got an edgy design in terms of how they look. It's so funny.
Yeah, but, like, now it's, like... He hits you a bunch of times, and it's like, it just feels like another, like, Great Aether or Omnislash. Like, it doesn't feel unique anymore, you know? Yeah.
Like, I like the crazy slash attacks, but yeah, definitely there's a lot of characters that have them, so it feels less unique. But yes, I mean, that's Meta Knight. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the three characters we have. So, in terms of other characters, right? Obviously, we've touched on this many times, and the internet would love this, but like, I feel like... So you were talking about before the Sakurai bias of the own games he directed, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, basically, yeah.
I believe the last game that Sakurai had any involvement in was Amazing Mirror, and he was just listed as like a special thanks on Amazing Mirror.
Yeah, right.
And after that, he left to do his own thing because he didn't want Kirby to become, like, he wanted to avoid sequel burnout, basically.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Now, why this is important is because when you look at Kirby representation in Smash, like, with the stages, with the fighters themselves, and a lot of the references that are made... They're all, like, Superstar, like, Dreamland, the earlier games. Stuff. Like, they're all referring to the earlier games.
Yeah.
That he worked on.
Yeah, exactly. There's not much of the new...
Well, he also did Air Ride, so that's why there's a lot of Air Ride music.
Exactly,
but, yeah. That's basically... So a lot of people who are fans of Kirby, especially, like, the newer titles, because, you know, Triple Deluxe, you know, Return to Dreamland... Yeah. All those games are still great, but they really don't have any representation in Smash because Sakurai just, you know, he did not work on those games. And I feel like
exactly.
That's why he wants to put the stuff he worked on in because, I don't know, maybe he just feels like he knows it better. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, I wonder, right? Because obviously, like, Sakurai's not going to be petty. It's not like the design team does him, oh, you want to put them on stuff? He's like, no, I don't think it's something like that. I think it almost comes off as like they don't even ask and he kind of just says, oh, okay, so I want to put this from Kirby and this from Kirby. Because like, yeah, like I feel like especially the 3DS games, like Return to Dreamland is represented with the giant sword actually. So we do have some modern representation of Kirby in there. But that's kind of the only one. We have the Return to Dreamland stuff there. But other than that, yeah, like the stages are all the old ones. It would have been so cool, yeah, because the 3DS games, like you said, the Hypernova or the Robobot would have been cool to see.
Yeah, that would have been sick. Like, it's like, you know, if you think about every stage, like, man, the missed opportunity because, like, come on, Great Cave Offensive.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh my God, yeah.
Also, the super retro Game Boy Dreamland one that's auto scrolls is also like more Dreamland because if you think about it, Fountain of Dreams, Dreamland, Green Greens, Dreamland, Dreamland.
Dreamland, you know? Exactly. I do like that Game Boy stage, especially the fact I like it that you can literally see that it's a Game Boy. Like, it would be one thing if it was just the stage, but I like that you literally see that you're in a Game Boy.
Yeah, it's like the Game & Watch stage where you're in a Game & Watch. Now, my thing is like, the Game Boy stage is sick, but I wish it did different Game Boy games. Like, it did Mario Land. That would have been cool. I had, like, a Tetris part. That would have been cool. Because those are all, like, iconic Game Boy titles, but it's just Kirby. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah. No, that stage is definitely one of the new ones. Really cool. But obviously, I think like one of the most iconic stages in Smash is Halberd, right? Like one of the most beloved and iconic stages added in Brawl.
Definitely one of the cool. I mean, that is the stage they debuted Brawl with. I mean, that stage is that like iconic, you know?
It's so cool, like, cause it's just like it's a flying stage. It has unique hazards. It's got a lot of cool shit in there. It looks just so cool. Like it's got like epic music to it from Kirby songs and all that stuff. It's just like it's one, and like competitive play got used to it and stuff. So I was
it was
curious.
Actually a counterpick stage, which is surprising because
it's crazy, right?
The stage does have hazards.
Yeah, that's how I was surprised.
But they are sort of like, I think it was put that like these are hazards that can be avoided and can be used by the player like as an advantage, you know what I mean? Like the claw, the big cannonball, you know what I mean? The tracking laser. And when I think about Halberd, I think like I wish more stages with hazards were designed like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like where it's like it's got like a hazard or two you can kind of predict. That way they would be more like pickable and stuff, but like yeah, it's still like it's just such a cool stage. It's so awesome. And oh my god, like specifically the Fountain of Dreams remake in Ultimate is like stunning. Like having the water reflection and everything is just, it's beautiful. Like it looks so fucking good. It's one of the.
I thought that stage looked insane when I was a kid playing Melee. I was like, yeah. I think that was that and Foreside were my favorite stages in Melee, right. and I thought that the music was beautiful. The orchestra hit. The atmosphere of Fountain of Dreams, I thought like, oh my god, this is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And I was so like sad that it was absent for so many games, and we finally got it back in Ultimate, and it looks better than ever. It was like, oh my god, completely
like it's
gorgeous.
Literally a new stage. It's so stunning, yeah. And then you have Green. So Green Greens is whatever, but I mean Dreamland is Dreamland the one people use competitively, right? Where like the wind.
So there's the 64 Dreamland is the one that still gets regularly used. Right. And that's the one where just like Wispy is blowing a little bit. Right. There's also Green Greens, which is the one with Wispy. That's the one with the falling blocks. And that isn't used. Right.
That one's definitely not used. And obviously, I mean one of the most divisive, I mean, not even divisive, I'd say it's pretty hated amongst gamers, Great Cave Offensive. Because, like, look, you think, like, obviously, 8-player Smash, you want to have these big stages, and back, like,
it's just that the camera is so bad,
I know. It's not just that, it's, like, first of all, it's, like, a little too big, and second of all, like, the fact that it's so hard to kill someone, because, like, you're just constantly trying to, like, toss them into lava, like, this is a stage, it's really funny, because, like, if you have 8 players, this stage is funny because you'll always have like 2 or 3 people in different corners of this map. But like getting someone killed is like so annoyingly hard. Again, like the layout of it is so bad. Like I'm just looking at a picture of it. I'm like, the layout is just so bad. Like, yeah, it's so random. It's so weird. It's just not like. And again, I understood, like, especially because this is back before, because if you remember, and in the beginning, 8-player Smash only worked on specific stages. It wasn't until later on that they added a patch where they're like, you can do it on any stage, fuck it, like, let the chaos reign. So I understood they needed stages to adapt with it, but yeah, this isn't the wave. This is not the wave.
Right. But yeah, like. You know, that also isn't the only, you know, outside of the stages. Yeah. We also have a lot of the items are also from Kirby.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, we'll get to that right now.
First, there's the Maxim Tomato, which, I mean, whenever I play items, I always have healing items turned off, so.
Right, exactly. But Maxim Tomato always a funny one that you recognize right away.
The Warp Star, honestly, iconic. One of the best items in the game. Like,
that is one of the most. I mean, that's the thing. Like the Kirby item, like the Kirby items are some of the most iconic. Because like obviously Warp Star is one of the funniest. It's like I don't know why in Ultimate like the movement for it is so crazy. Like even if you offset your stick a little bit, like he goes like flying all the way to the left.
It's so much faster. Like in Melee, it definitely felt like it was slower to control.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like you just fly so fast in Ultimate, it's
fucking
crazy.
It's crazy.
And you also have the Star Rod. I love using the Star Rod. That's
Star
a
Rod,
very fun one too.
Also a classic one where like you're just like tossing the stars, and then when you run out, you just like throw it at your opponent, which is really funny. One of the most iconic, obviously, are the Dragoon pieces. Right? Where,
that was a very, very fun one that a lot of people didn't see coming because that one was from Air Ride. Again, a game Sakurai did. So.
And it's like, it's so cool because like, it's almost like an item that creates a mini game, right? Where people are literally trying to knock out these 3 pieces. Like, because first of all, the piece drops, then you try to go to get it. Someone tries to hit you, and then they grab it. Someone has 2 of them. That one person dies. The next person tries to grab another. It's like, you could literally end up like going back and forth with them for like most of the match if like no one gets it. But when you do, it's like the funniest shit, right? The screen goes red. You've got that giant target on screen that you're moving, and your friend knows they're gonna die if they get caught. It's just been, it's one of those like, it reminds me of like the Smash Ball or something, right? Where literally everyone stops right in the middle of the match to go get it, which I love.
Yeah,
those
it's always a
items
big
the most.
scramble.
Yeah.
And like again, it's got the chaotic energy of like people fighting over the pieces. You get hit, the pieces get knocked out of you.
Right.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, and I like, it's so satisfying to aim and go.
Exactly,
that
the
noise,
sound it makes.
It's the home run bat noise.
Yeah,
but it's still super satisfying.
Exactly, and
and then the cursed item, the super spicy curry.
Oh my god, this item is. Did they remove it? No, they didn't remove it in Ultimate, right? It's there. I feel like
it's there. It's there.
Okay,
I say that it's cursed now
so
because.
Funny.
In Ultimate, it gives the characters like that expression.
Right.
Now,
yeah,
I don't think it did that before.
Yeah, it's so funny.
And people would take pictures with that expression.
Yeah, it's just a great one.
But it's just an annoying item. Like, if someone gets it, it's like, oh, I guess I'm just stuck.
Yeah, it's an item you don't want, which is really funny. And they also added they added like the sequel to Dragoon, like the other 3 pieces to make a laser.
That's the Daybreak from Kid Icarus. So the Dragoon inspired that.
Okay,
yeah. That's very much inspired by the Dragoon.
But that one's really cool. What's another? We have
the new one is the Bomber. They added that one for Ultimate, which is like you hold it and it explodes.
Right.
I don't know. It's okay.
It's alright. Yeah. But yeah, no. So, but Kirby's got definitely some. An assist trophy. So we have Knuckle Joe, which is obviously
Knuckle Joe's really classic. I love it.
Always fun.
I love his like everybody knows Knuckle
crazy.
Joe.
He's so cool. Who else do we have? Obviously, what's his name? The villain, Nightmare, right? Like
Nightmare's he's the main villain of Kirby Adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's actually kind of funny because
and Nightmare and Dream.
For someone for the big bad, you think he'd do something, but he's literally he's a JPEG. He's like a PNG file, and the screen goes black.
Yeah,
it's
so funny. Yeah, it's always funny when you see the characters like that. It's like, oh, you're just kind of just a thing. That one's really funny, and then it's chaotic because the stage goes the stage going black in Smash was really weird because you're just what's going on? I have no idea. Because I think, is there another assist trophy? I think that's it.
There's the chef. There's a chef.
There's Chef, of course. Yes, Chef Kawasaki.
They added Chef for Ultimate,
which is so cool. Yeah, and he's basically the equivalent of the cooking, right? Where he brings back that final Smash almost, where he brings you into the pot, he cooks you up, and then you're done. Really cool.
I like him a lot. I like that one a lot because I just like Chef Kawasaki.
Yeah,
I think he's cute. I think he's a
little
character. Chef man. I don't know. I like him a lot.
He's funny. He's out here cooking. He's vibing. And Kirby has so much music in Smash. It's I couldn't even begin to go through all the best ones. There's just so especially the remix ones, the Kirby retro medley.
Kirby, there was Kirby music in Smash, right? And then in Melee they had the cool the amazing orchestra arrangements,
yes.
Right? And then in Brawl they just went off.
Crazy,
the Butter Building remix, amazing. The Gourmet Race remix, amazing.
Yep.
The 0-2 battle, oh my god, that was one of my favorite songs just ever for a really long time. The Jazz Meta Knight's Revenge
Meta Knight's Revenge
remix,
theme.
insane. The Squeak Squad remix, oh my god, dude, the Kirby music that they got added for Brawl
crazy.
Is absolutely
and even I love
insane.
on the Wii U one.
Insane, dude.
Yeah. Like I like the King Dedede's theme, this remix, which is like so good. They just do a lot of, even like I'm not, the stage isn't the best, but the Great Cave Offensive like remix theme is so good. Like they do amazing stuff with all that. Yeah, and obviously he's had a bunch of trophies and spirits all representing the series. Like Kirby is definitely like super well represented. But yeah, we were talking about how like we haven't even talked about characters. Like what, like obviously there's been this big, I feel like this is kind of, it's so weird with Bandana Waddle Dee, right? He's a character that's, he feels like in the middle, right? He's not a character that's crazy demanded, but he's a character that has like a fan base that really, really wants him. You know, like I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm very supportive of Bandana Dee because, in my opinion, like Kirby has not had a new fighter since Brawl because they got Meta Knight and Dedede, and those are sort of the face of the franchise. Yeah, but if you go towards the more modern titles, because starting with Return to Dreamland. There was a whole multiplayer aspect, and that's where Bandana Dee was sort of his own character with the spear, and he had his own moveset. And then Bandana Dee sort of like in all the future like modern Kirby titles, like he was either playable or he appeared in it. Yeah, like even as like a multiplayer character or like an unlockable character, and I feel like the Kirby as a franchise has, it's not been represented well with like the modern games, and that's a problem that we've talked about before, where like a lot of the older fighters in Smash, they haven't been updated with like their most recent incarnations, and I feel like if Kirby and the rest are going to be sort of kept to like classic Kirby, then I feel like Bandana Dee should be there to sort of bridge the gap with the modern titles, because the only real representation the modern games get outside of like, spirits is they got a ton of music in Ultimate. They got like a ton of music with like just ripped, not really remixed, just ripped and added to Ultimate. But they still really aren't represented that well,
Right. Yeah, like the Kirby is like it's in a weird like position, right? Because like on one hand, Bandana Dee would be cool, but I'm sure they also look at it and say like, that's a really simple moveset, and we can't really represent modern Kirby games like unique aspects and ideas with that character. Like, and so I get that. So then you think like a lot of the characters we'd like are like either like, now we had Marks, he's like a boss. We have like a lot of assist trophies of characters and stuff. So it's like, it's such a hard one to think of like what they can do. Like I could like, I always thought a cool idea would have been what's his name, Yarn Kirby, or like Yarn what the fuck is his name?
Prince Fluff would have been great. Because
Prince Fluff,
Prince Fluff from Epic Yarn. He like that. He would have a very unique moveset, because if you don't know, in Epic Yarn, Kirby doesn't have his inhale. He sort of like unravels and grabs things, and that would be very unique. Yeah, and like he can create stuff. It's like he would be really cool. But yeah, it's like that's the weird predicament they face, because in their, I'm pretty sure the way they see in their minds is like, it's either, because obviously I think if they're gonna add another Kirby character, it's gonna be Bandana Dee. But because at the same time, it's the only one that like makes sense, because like if you think about recurring Kirby characters outside of like outside of Dedede and Meta Knight and obviously Kirby, like it's just not there. Like the Kirby is very like, because Kirby, like again, like it's very much like those three characters, Bandana Waddle Dee, and then the villain is always changing. It's not like there's a regular recurring villain.
Exactly. I guess there's what the fuck is it? Marks it's Marks' first one.
Marks has shown up like once or twice before, but he's a boss now, which is actually really
it's
sick.
really cool. He's horrifying.
The only other character villain who appeared in multiple games was Dark Matter. And Dark Matter he's sort of just like a blob. And so like there was like Dark Matter Sword. There's like a swordsman version of Dark Matter. And then there's 02, which is also another form of Dark Matter. But I guess Gooey. People have brought up Gooey before.
Yeah, I feel like it's like Gooey. Like I'd rather they just add the trio from Dreamland 3. Like the
Oh
three
yeah, the animal friends.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be great. Like that'd be kind of cool if they were like Pokemon trainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the animal friends would be it. To me, if they add another character, it's either got to be the what the fuck's her name, the painting girl, the trio.
Oh, Adeline, yeah.
Yeah, Adeline, the trio from Dreamland, or Bandana Waddle Dee. Like I feel like that's kind of the only way they'd go, really. Or again, like another option is like I don't know, like if maybe they made like a different version of Kirby that uses like the Robobot and stuff like that. I don't know, like they with Kirby, it's like I feel like that's where they're in it with it, where they're like, okay, we can easily represent Kirby because of enemies and bosses and stuff through and items through like a bunch of means. But when it comes to main characters, I really do think the next one, unless they pick a villain, unless they have a new character that they're gonna promote for something, is gonna be Bandana Waddle Dee. And again, for me, like with Bandana Waddle Dee, it's like I've said this before, it's like a 50-50. Like I'd like him, he'd be really cool. But on one hand, the fact that we'd kind of know his exact moveset because it's in the other games makes it like not as interesting. It's like I don't want it to just be like he does spear moves. I'd love if they like did something unique with it. Like I don't know. Obviously they could come up with that. Because like he's such an easy to picture moveset. You know, like forward smash is like he pegs you with the spear. Up smash is an upward spear. Up B is just helicopter spear. Side B would just be like a bunch of jabs with it. So it's like I would love it maybe they do something with him that maybe we don't expect, instead of just being like typical just all spear moves in different hand movements.
Yeah, like because obviously like modern Kirby games have actually like taken a lot from Smash in terms of like different special moves with directional inputs.
Yeah.
So there are surprisingly a lot of moves that Waddle Dee does with the spear. Like he has a spear helicopter, spear throw. He can like pole vault with the spear the spear. So he has a lot of like unique things for him, but I can sort of understand the mindset of like, well, it's just a spear. Like
right.
I don't know, but like the problem with Waddle Dee then in that case then is that he's not like Gooey. He's not like Kirby where he can like inhale and get other powers. He is just like Waddle Dee. The only thing I could imagine is, for those who've played Star Allies, you would know that you can combine your spear to get different elements and have different elemental effects.
Right.
Maybe they have something like that where he can add elements to his spear and get different properties. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I think I said that when we did lots of stuff. Like that would be really cool. If maybe they found a way to like add fusion like abilities to that would make him a wholly unique character. I think if like you can make it like a fire spear, a water spear, an ice spear, or a shadow spear, I think that would make it like really cool. Again, I don't know. I think with 5 characters left, his odds are becoming like much slimmer.
And also I feel like not only that, well, we'll see, because keep in mind Star Allies would have been sort of in development around when Smash Ultimate was. Yeah. So maybe they considered something for Kirby, and then they couldn't fit it in. We'll see. But I do think that Star Allies has come and passed, and we don't really have any news on an upcoming Kirby project. So I feel like it is diminishing. Like the chances of it are diminishing, even though I'm very I would very much want it. You know what I mean?
Like I said, unless they pull some crazy thing where the next Kirby game is going to introduce this like really cool new character that like they've had planned, they're going to announce it for Smash something. I think that time is up. But again, I think overall, when you think of stages, the 3 characters we have in there, the amount of music, the amount of items and everything, I would say like Kirby is really well represented. Like I really do think they've done like I would say it's like a really great job throughout the series of representing Kirby.
Yeah, I do say, like, does Sakurai have his bias? Yes. But I think if you're to sort of think about Kirby as in terms of, like, as a franchise as a whole, I do think that aside, there is a ton of Kirby love, because, it's gotta, because Sakurai's, the one who's in charge. So, so there's a lot of Kirby love. We'll see, what the future holds, any new Kirby games that come out, that sort of thing, Yeah.
And I wonder, like, again, like, if like the next Smash is like if they somehow, like we've talked about, the next Smash is like a reboot or a redoing of stuff, like how different will Kirby be? Like what will he stick? I assume he'd stick to the hat changing stuff, but like how different would his move? Maybe that would be when his moveset is completely representing the modern stuff. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But that's going to be in the future. Anyways, guys. That's it for today. Thank you all for watching. Remember, if you have any thoughts about the Kirby franchise or your favorite representation or what you think's missing and all that stuff, let us know. Also, thank you for all the love on last week's episode, the predictions episode. We almost got like 1,000 views on that and a bunch of comments, so much love on that one. Like I said, subscribe here for more. You can follow Ultimate Shadow X at Ultimate Shadow X. You can follow me on the download though. Subscribe here for more. Follow me on Twitch. Games Cage. Peace out.